welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Please come to a seated position on your mat. Remove the flesh from the back of your hips so your sitting bones can root into the earth. Grow along through the sides of your body. Inhale, bring your shoulders to your ears, and exhale, bring them back behind you and relax, letting your chest open up from the front. Inhale and exhale, let your head tilt to the right side, bringing your ear to your right shoulder, and take your left hand and just extend it, reaching to the corner of the room. Breathe into your neck, remembering your Ujjayi breath, slightly toning at the back of the throat, creating an audible sigh, breathing in through the nose and the mouth. We're getting some stretch along our side of our neck and shoulder. You can maybe do little circles here, or bounce your arm, or just find some slight movement. Feel how that movement creates more of a stretch along different parts of your neck. So we're just slightly moving our arm and letting gravity pull our heads. Using your right hand, push your right ear up so we're not straining the left side of our neck. Inhale and breathe here for a moment. And exhale. Tilt your left ear to your left shoulder and extend your right arm to the corner of the room, creating a lengthening along the side of your right neck, of the right side of your neck. So once again, you can move your arm just a little bit if you'd like, slight circles, maybe just forward and back. Explore here a little bit. And breathe. Let gravity help you get a little bit more of a stretch by surrendering the weight of your head to gravity and using just ever such slight movements in your arm for creating a little bit more of a stretch. And breathing into any tight places you feel in your neck. Really inflate those spaces with your breath. You can use your left hand to push your left ear so that your head comes straight. And inhale, exhale. Bring your hands together at heart center. And with eyes closed, just breathe for a moment. Bring your shoulders onto your back just a little bit more. Bring your belly button to your spine, remembering your alignment. Can you imagine that there's a string that runs along your spine, all the way up your neck, through the crown of your head? And can you imagine that someone in the sky is just pulling that string, consistently helping you elevate the crown of your head and maintain the length along your spine? Today's class is going to be focused on surrender. In order to surrender in our lives, we need to create strength. We need to focus in on our strength. And often what we do is we plan, we prepare, we overthink, we overdo, we try to control as much of our lives as we can to get the best possible result. But sometimes all you can do is root into your strength and surrender to what is. So in today's class, can you let it be a practice for life? Can you find your strength, and can you notice how that allows for you to surrender? Because when we root into our potential and surrender to the moment of what is, we allow ourselves to flow through life without resistance. When you're ready, come onto your hands and knees. In your tabletop position, toes are curled under, fingers are spread wide. The inner lining of your fingers should be around the outer edge of your shoulders. Your thumbs are in a soft J, and really suction cup your fingers. Plug them into the ground. You might need to bend your index finger quite a bit and find a lot of strength through your fingers in order to root your index finger mound into the earth. So your hands might end up looking like claws, but notice how that pushes this part of my hand down when I do that. So I can push it into the earth and root my strength there. Your toes are curled under and your knees are underneath your hips. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your sitting bones and your gaze. And exhale, curl your spine, tailbone in, head looks towards your knees. Inhale, drop your belly, gaze lifts, tailbone lifts. This is your cow pose. And exhale, curl your spine, look towards your knees, tailbone in. This is your cat pose. Inhale. Continue pulsing a few more times like this. Warming up the spine. And beginning to link our Ujjayi breaths to our movement. Really feel how much your spine can stretch. Can you stretch it as much as you can in one direction using your inhale, and as much as you can in the other using your exhale? So use your breath to help your movement. Notice how your breath supports you. Come into neutral spine. Lift your knees just a little bit off the ground, just about a micro inch, and slower than you want to, send your hips back into downward facing dog. You're in an inverted V. Pedal your heels out here for a moment. And just breathe. Look towards your toes and make sure your head is in between your shoulders. Press into your arms so that you create a strengthening and a straightening along your back. And then begin to walk your feet up to meet your hands. You can keep a bend in your knees. And when you meet your hands, forward fold. Micro bend in your knees so that you can let your upper half hang. Feel the strength in your legs supporting you so that your torso is able to melt. Inhale, hands to your shins, bring your shoulders onto your back, halfway lift, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach your arms up and overhead, grasp the energy above you, and exhale. Draw your energy through your heart center and alongside your hips. We're going to do this 2 more times, making sure that our feet are in number 11s. We're plugging down through all 4 corners of our feet. Lift your toes and activate your arches. Maintain a soft bend in your knees. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead, palms together. Having scooped all that beautiful energy, exhale and draw it down through your center and alongside your waist. We're going to do that 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale, this time forward fold. Plant your hands and step back into a high plank position. You can drop your knees and lower down, tuck your shoulders into your body. You can untuck your toes and inhale, press up into your hands. You can do a cobra with a slight back bend or an upward facing dog that lifts your hips off the ground. And exhale, roll over your toes and back into downward facing dog. Breathe here for 1 moment. Pedal your feet out. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you, and exhale, step your right foot in between your hands. Drop your left heel so that your feet are in a front heel to back arch alignment, and bring your right forearm onto your right thigh. Begin to open your chest and up to the wall beside you, and your arm comes to the ceiling. And begin to send your palm overhead, palm faces to the earth. This is your side angle pose. We've practiced this a few times, and the more we practice it, the better we get. So feel the strength in your legs. Really strengthen your back thigh to the wall behind you, and root your glute up, your front glute up into your body, and feel your strength. Make sure you're not collapsing. Make sure you're not clenching. You're reaching and finding your length. Inhale, come up, legs stay the same, arms to the front and back of the room. Make sure your tailbone is tucked so it's not curving your back. Your belly button is to your spine and your knee is tracking over your ankle. It's not falling inwards. So your hips are open to the wall, to the side of you, and your arms go to the front and back of the room. Gaze looks over your fingertips. And really feel your energy shooting through your fingertips to the front and back of the room. Exhale, drop your left arm, lift your right arm up and overhead. This is your reverse warrior. Inhale back to warrior 2, and exhale, side angle pose. Using the breath, we're going to follow these poses. Inhale, warrior 2, and exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale to warrior 2, exhale, reverse warrior. Side angle pose. To your knee. Inhale, warrior 2, exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior 2, and exhale, side angle pose. Breathe here for a moment. And the next time you exhale, plant your hands around your front foot and step back into downward facing dog. Pedal your feet out. And breathe, always remembering to come back to our breath. Our breath invites space, and it invites softness, and that allows for strength. Inhale your left foot up and back behind you, and exhale, step your left foot in between your hands. Drop your right heel, creating a front heel to back arch alignment, and bring your left forearm onto your left thigh. Open your body up to the wall beside you, and reach your arm up to the ceiling and overhead, palm faces the earth. This is your side angle pose. Make sure you're not clenching. Feel your back thigh magnetizing to the wall behind you, and plug your left glute into your body, creating a slight engagement in your thigh. Feel how magnetizing your back leg to the wall creates more of an opportunity to feel the stretch along the side of your body, and continue that stretch all the way up your arm, through your fingertips. Energize Maybe smile here, making sure your hand isn't clenching, your face isn't clenching. Inhale, come up to a warrior two. And exhale. Make sure your tailbone is tucked, your belly button is to your spine, your knee is tracking over your ankle, and your hips are open to the wall beside you. Look over your front fingertips and radiate your energy. Feel your inner energy expand through your core. Sometimes in life we have to hold something. We've got to hold the pose. We've got to make it through. There's no rushing things sometimes, so can you find surrender even in the moments where you need to put in some effort? Exhale and drop your back arm, lift your front arm, reach up and overhead. This is your reverse warrior. Breathe here. Feel the length along the left side of your body, reaching up through your left fingertips and overhead. Your palm faces the earth. Inhale back to warrior two. And exhale, forearm to thigh, side angle pose, arm reaches overhead. Inhale back to warrior two. Feel your length and strength, and exhale, melt to reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior two, and exhale, side angle pose. Pulse like this a few more times, following your breath. Make sure you're rooted down through the ball mound of your big toe on your front foot, so you're not collapsing to the edges of your feet. Make sure you remember the four corners of your feet. Your foundation protects your alignment. The next time you come to a side angle pose, you can drop your hands to frame your front foot and step back into downward facing dog. Pedal out here for a moment. Take 3 breaths here. This time we're going to lift our right leg and step it between our hands. This time stay high onto your back foot. So your heel is over the ball mound of your foot. And just begin to lift. You might need to drop your knee for support, or you can stay high. Just make sure the back of your back thigh is strengthened. So even with a soft knee, your back thigh should be magnetizing to the ceiling. We're really engaging this. My knee is still soft. So you're high onto your back toes, coming over your knee. You might need to, like I said, drop your knee to the earth if this doesn't feel like you have a lot of balance, or hold on to something beside you. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Bring your shoulders behind you and onto your back. And see if with every inhale you can stretch your chest open more, filling it and expanding it with air. And with every exhale, can you melt just a little bit farther back into a slight back bend, maintaining your tucked tailbone and your belly button to core, so that you can protect your spine as you travel into a bit of a back bend. Trust in your strength and surrender, opening your heart. The next inhale, reach up, and exhale, plant your hands, step back into downward facing dog. Pedal out here for just one moment. Inhale, kick your left foot up and back behind you, and exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Stay high onto the ball mound of your right foot. You can drop your knee for support, or you can inhale, reach up, magnetize your back thigh to the ceiling, tailbone is slightly tucked, belly button to core. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead and bring your shoulders onto your back. You can notice how maybe that means that your arms come away from your ears a little bit. Beautiful. So might have a little more balance on one side than another. Just know that that's okay. Inhale, grow long, fill your chest, and exhale. Begin to send yourself into a slight back bend. Inhale, expand your chest, and exhale. Melt a little further. Trust in the strength of your legs to hold you so that you can bend and melt. Opening up. Breathe here. Look to the sky and feel that with your open heart you are accepting in all of life's potential. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, plant your hands to frame your front foot. Step back into downward facing dog. Pedal out here. And begin to walk your hands up to your feet up to meet your hands. Maintain a micro bend in your knees and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders onto your back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Sweep your arms overhead. And exhale, draw that energy through your heart and alongside your body. Pedal out your feet. Make sure they're right under your hips in number 11s. Feel your foundation. Root through your feet. With strength and softness in your knees, draw that energy up to your hips. Slightly tucking your tailbone, drawing in your belly. Continue drawing that energy up. Draw it into your shoulders and onto your back. Let your palms face to the sides of the room. Magnetize the nape of your neck to the wall behind you, creating a slight tuck in your chin. What that does is it aligns your neck with the rest of your spine. Your neck is an extension of your spine, so try to keep them in line. And just hold your mountain pose. Imagine that string pulling through the crown of your head and holding you. Breathe here for a moment. Just notice your body, notice your foundation, your strength, and how while holding yourself here and holding your form, you can also surrender to the beauty of just being. We're going to do a bit of a more challenging pose right now. And I just want you to have either blocks, stacked books, something to balance on, and make sure it's at the top of your mat for you. You can also have a dresser, something for balance that you know that you can hold on to if you need it. So inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, plant your hands, and walk yourself into a downward facing dog. Press into your hands, bring your shoulders onto your back, your ears between your arms, look towards your toes. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you, and exhale, step your right foot between your hands. This time, you're going to come to stand on your right foot and fold while holding onto your balancing object. Lift your heel and see how that allows you to fold. This is your standing splits. Make sure your hip is not opening. We want our hips squared down. I'm gonna point this more at me. So your hips should be parallel with the floor. Your heel is kicking back behind you, energizing the back of your thigh. Breathe into the back of your standing leg. Exhale, plant your foot beside your other foot and fold. This time, shift your weight onto your left foot and just kick your right foot up behind you. Make sure your hips are not opening, that they're square. Your heel is kicking up towards the ceiling, the back of your thigh magnetizing to the sky. And see how that allows for your heart to melt. Breathe into the back of your standing leg. This is your standing splits. Can you use your strength and your surrender to melt into this pose? Drop your right foot to meet your left and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders onto your back, and exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Hands through heart center and alongside your waist. This time, I want you to just start as we would in tree pose, kickstanding let's start with your right foot to your left. And begin to lift your foot underneath your knee, if you're able to, above your knee if you're able to. This is your tree pose. Feel into your strength. You can put your hands on your hips and help them open up to the wall in front of you. Or you can bring your arms up like tree branches, bring your pinkies in towards your face. If your tree sways, know that that's okay. Can you sway? Can you allow yourself to be just as you are and find your balance and accept your imbalance? Bring your right foot over your left knee. So your right ankle over your left knee. And as soon as you do that, begin to bend into your left knee. Reach for your blocks or something for balance. And begin to melt and fold. Send your hips back behind you. You're going to feel a stretch along the side of your right thigh, along your right outer hip, your glute. Can you use your breath to just surrender? Feel every moment of this pose, every bit, and use your breath to fill up those tight spaces instead of resisting them or ignoring them. Can you love them? Sit back into your hips just a little bit more like you're sitting into a chair. 2 more breaths here. You are so strong. You can unbend your left leg a little bit and bring your right foot to meet your left foot, forward fold. And just pedal out your feet here for a moment. Your legs. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Sweep your arms overhead, hands together, down through heart center alongside your hips. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So shift your weight to stand on your right leg and kickstand your left foot into your right leg. You can bring it beneath your knee or above your knee if you're able to. Don't go beyond what you're able to do. Just meet yourself at your limits, and each time your limit will be further than it was before. We don't have to be perfect today, but can you see the perfection in exactly where you are? Open your hips up to the front of the room. You can have your hands on your hips, or you can twist your pinkies in and bring your arms up above you like branches. Allow yourself to sway, feel your strength, and notice that maybe one side is a bit different than the other. Can you honor yourself just as you are? And feel this pose. No need to rush it. You can bring your left ankle over your right knee, and as soon as you do that, begin to bend into your right knee. Flex your left toes towards your face and reach for your balancing object. Begin to bend into your right knee, send your hips back and melt your torso over your leg, feeling that stretch in your outer hip, in your glute. On the left side, can you breathe here? And can you remember not to clench or hold any tension? As much as you can you melt here? Don't run away from any sensations. Experience everything fully with your breath. Your breath supports you so that you can feel. Press into your right leg and bring your left foot to meet your right foot and forward fold. Inhale, shoulders onto your back, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Just hang here for a moment. You can nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Feel your shoulders drip. Feel the muscles in your back drip down over your head. Let your head hang. Root into your feet and inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands through heart center and alongside your hips. You can come to the mat now to a seated position. And just extend your legs out in front of you. Toes towards your face. Give your legs a little bit of a shake. We gave them a lot of love today. Move your glutes away from your sitting bones so you're rooted in. Inhale, reach your arms up, grow long, and exhale, begin to fold. Remembering to keep your shoulders onto your back so you lead with your heart. And only fold as much as you're able to while maintaining this formation, this alignment. Maybe that means you can't reach for your feet because that makes your shoulders go forward. That's okay. Reach for whatever part of your body you're able to, and don't judge yourself. You can inhale, sit up, lie onto your back. Make sure that your neck, the curve in your neck is reduced by magnetizing the part of your neck that meets your skull towards the earth. That's the nape of your neck. You can bring your feet wider than hip, as wide as your mat, and tent your knees in towards each other. Drop your knees to the right. Inhale, come up, and drop your knees to the left. Inhale, come up, and drop your knees to the right. Inhale up and drop your knees to the left. Tuck without moving your shoulders. Can you bring your, just scoot your butt down a little bit so that it reduces that curve in your low back. And bring your shoulders just a little bit closer together behind you, sort of tucking them in. Let your feet go wider than hip width apart, extend your legs, and let your feet fall to the sides of the room. This is your corpse pose. Just for today's class, I'm not going to guide you through a meditation. I want you to practice surrendering into your body, Feel your body. Really notice your consciousness inhabiting your body. And allow yourself to just be. Feel and embody surrender. And feel your breath. And ankles. Maybe give your hands and feet a little rotation. Bring your feet together and your hands together above your head and give yourself a stretch. Feel how long you can reach. You can roll over onto your right side when you're ready, using your bicep as a pillow. Just rest here for a moment. Press into your hands and come up to a seated position. Always remembering your foundation. Remove your glutes from your sitting bones. Sit comfortably. Whatever that looks like for you, it might not look like what it looks like for me. Find your foundation and your alignment. And you can bring your hands to heart center. The hardest thing for us to do is to surrender, to let go of control. Can you find ways to just simply be? the beauty in simply being. And when things get tough and you don't know what to do, can you find the strength required to surrender? The light and shadow in me bows to and acknowledges the light and shadow in each of you. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. Take care.